a scientist, I am constantly in that ocean of what you call the background radiation, and we call Om constantly the music of the universe, the music from which all notes come. I will simply laugh at you in your face, and this is how it is. Constantly enlightening, constantly you stay in that. At times when you go deeper, it is not there because you are in a higher state. For example, right here now, I can feel it vibrating every pore of my being. That cosmic sound. That's why when you are in the presence of a master, it's good alert, but to relax. I think I hear the flute of the eternal, the flute of God eternally, unbroken. Akan means unbroken. And what is the flute? Not literally this cosmic vibration, vibrating.
It was like Kabir, Al-Mansur, they were from the Sufi thing, or they were normal Muslims?
They were from the Sufi. When you're a Muslim in the true sense, you're also a Sufi. Because the true Muslim is really a person who is really spiritual. The word Musalman I used to say, Muslim comes from the word Musalman. Musalman, the meaning is Musalle Iman. Iman means conscience, but in fact conscience is consciousness. Musalle Iman is a person who has a pure conscience. Who else? And a person who meditates. A true Muslim. If somehow you have Muslim friends or people, you ask them, what is the meaning of Musalman? For example, Islam, it's easy to say surrender to God, but what does that mean, surrender to God? You don't even know God, how can you surrender to Him? So surrendering to God, just like this. It is like for me a reminiscence of a past, of a beautiful past, the life in the desert. We all have passed through many incarnations, both me and you, but you don't know, I know. This is very beautiful, strange, and also mysterious at times, The millions of people, not the millions of people, especially we people who are close. We are born and we live together in so many times, and then we die, and then we come again together yet. Some people do feel it, they do feel. They may not have any vision, but they just feel there is a profound connection. We are together, and we are attracted together for no apparent reason. But the connection is there. Some people do, they even remember. They remember your... They dream or have vision of a certain prophet, and then they come to me and then say this and this and that. I remember my past incarnation, the house and my mother, the house where we used to live in India, small huts, my mother holding his skirt and moving around, still, but a bit blurred, but I do remember.
Where was your last incarnation?
Last incarnation in India.
Oh, in India?
Yes. You were in India, we all moved. Really? Yes, all of us, yes. We're in India.
Maybe that's why Indian food's a bit...
Yeah, definitely we're in India.
Which part? North, south, east?
That's a secret.
I'm going to ask you questions now.
I think it's north, no? North, I think, yeah. Well, it's not good to talk about things.
Yeah, they start asking, was I married? What was I doing? What was my job? It's too many questions.
Is it not good sometimes to remember, to know our incarnations where we were meditating?
I'll tell you one thing. I will answer you in this way. When an intelligent person is given poison, he can turn it into nectar. But when a stupid person is given even nectar, he can turn it into poison. That's a problem. If you remember your past incarnation, you can make good use of it and say, okay, I was there, okay, I have to do this. I have already attained, now I have to do this now. But then if you say, okay, I was already for a big shot, then what? You fall down? Now that's a problem. In fact, it is good to know about your past, that you know what to do, from where to take. If you don't remember last year which standard you were, then how are you? Where are you going to start? When you knew what standard, what were your weaknesses, where you failed, then from there you. In this age, people are very, very difficult. So that's why I don't say.
I don't think we should know everything. Like about our past, we said, what happens if you find out your mum was your wife or whatever?
So this kind of thing, no. Once you open the door, a lot of things a cascade of energy comes, and then it's difficult. Just like I feel like sharing with you, so let me share. We are living in an era of really great possibilities. Because it's as if the last churning for this era, or a new era will come in. But before that new era, we are living in a sort of, call it, how we call it in English? It's like in a medium stage. One era is finishing. Transition, so that and after that, that's why all the churning that you see and the conflicts, it is at its highest, it's the worst, and it's also best in so many sense. Technology, people are intelligent, philosophy, mathematics, in all the fields, So this is really great churning is going on. So here it's a great possibilities await us. But also, we are moving, even the transition, we are about to cross it and to start a new era.
I was going to ask a question. I was chatting with Vesna earlier. If, there can be catastrophes, wars, fighting, everything. How is a meditator going to be protected from all those things? It's fighting wars and everything. If you're a meditator in the midst of it, how is it possible that you'll be protected if you're a meditator?
Now, there's no guarantee that you're going to be protected. But one thing is sure, if you're meditating, and if you die while meditating, then you attain a very high level, may even be enlightened. But yes, we always think in terms, because if you take the path of righteousness, that you're definitely protected. It's not exactly like that. I'm not saying that we're not protected. We certainly are protected. But yes, maybe, if you are really meditating, would you really have a pure heart when the chaos, the great destruction is in process? Maybe we may not find ourselves, we might not be in the place where there could be the destruction maybe in some of the place. So things like this. And we are surrounded by so many visible and invisible forces, But it's true if you're taking the path of righteousness, it depends on many factors, because what is happening now and what is about to take place will be unique after many, many thousand years. The churning, the development on all levels, spiritual and all this. I will do something, or really with a group of invisible masters, myself, we are working for the New World Order, and have our hands in, but I don't say this normally to people, I'm telling you, this is coming. We have our hands in what is happening of the whole world, all the positive, negative, So that's why it's time that just do as I tell you and no problem. Do at least your best. I'm not expecting that you become perfect overnight. Just show me that you're really doing your best with a pure heart. That's it. I don't ask great things for you. I don't ask 6 hours or 7 hours of meditation per day. Just do the basic, as I told you, and just more so I like people I love and attracted to people who are pure of heart, natural, spontaneous, frank and direct, no hypocrisy. Hypocrisy, no problem, big problem. That's it. You know, when we were talking about you asked a question about Islam and Muslim, there was a presence here, very strong one. Don't you know? Very strong vibration. That's why Jesus said, you have eyes but you don't see, you have ears but you don't hear. Masters, you know, in my case, maybe if you are a master one day, be the same, or you may choose not to know. Master, a person like me, I'm open to existence, to all the masters of past and you know, and present. So even when I do my satsang, they do come and intervene where they feel they can, with my permission, of course. But I keep my individuality. You know, I don't like people step in my individuality. For example, I'm talking about, say, Kabir. Kabir, the spirit of Kabir. Kabir has already dissolved, but you know, his vibration, his effect body can be attracted, and you know, in one sense, you know, his teachings, you know, he helps. You know. But it is my decision, and I control situation. I wouldn't like when take over and it says I'm not here, Kabir says no, it's not a possession. They just get a help from masters. So if I speak on Jesus Christ, if I speak on Muhammad, if anybody, I was very clear. I say okay, you know, but I will keep my individuality. I be myself. If you want to help, okay, no problem, I don't mind. And many times people have experience, you know, I've said, you know, Guruji, we saw this and that prophet. You know, yeah.
My question.
Yes.
When I was meditating earlier, there was someone I didn't see that someone, but it came like two questions where I just got stuck because I was trying to answer him and he was not satisfied with the answer.
Somebody asked you a question?
I didn't see that somebody, but that question came to me, and he kept on asking me because he was not satisfied with the answer. First question was, who am I, and second was, why am I meditating? When I'm saying that I'm just meditating for another, everything was on myself. So it was myself that I was not satisfied with the answer.
No. So there was not anyone there. It was the question. No,
anyone. It was
the question I think was from your own deeper self, and the answer you gave. You know why there was no satisfaction? Because the answer that you gave was not very deep. You said you wanted enlightenment. It wasn't something that was very deep inside, you know, like a fire. That's why. Your own higher self wants. That's why it should be something that is deeper. Or you, when you said I was looking for enlightenment, then you have to meditate. Am I really looking for enlightenment? You know, that's why you have to meditate. You had a question also?
Yeah, okay, I'll ask. it's almost a bit.
No, you can ask anything.
I'm going to ask anyway. You said when I asked you on the Quran, you felt as if a presence. My question was going to be, who's that presence?
Yeah.
You also said invisible masters are helping you.
Yeah.
Who are they? What are they doing?
Well, you know.
These are the questions you might ask.
No, it's very legitimate questions. You know, there are many people who, after they have reached a certain level of consciousness, nearly enlightened. I would say nearly enlightened, or some who are already enlightened, and they can take one or two more births. They do stay on a very subtle level, and they do help aspirants and seekers on their path, and also masters who are struggling to create a world just like I'm trying to do. And this the one that was just present, I think, was one of my own reflection on the past. If you see what I mean, yeah, that's it. Very strong. But even when you people are meditating, if you're those who are meditating sincerely, I mean real meditators, you are held by masters. I don't think that you're alone.
Our own
yes.
masters, yeah.
No, not your own masters, but you have masters everywhere. They know that you are with me. This for sure. They don't interfere in my work, but they could be helping you anytime, anywhere. To the extent they can.
Are they guardian angel?
No, God and angel is something very much different. Guardian angel are the energy that comes to you with your birth. When you're born, existence give you a sort of, protection. Not protection that you are given, they come with you. And that also depends on many factors, your level of evolution, your past incarnation, and your master, and so many things. Some people have many guardian of angel, yeah.
The Christians, they have that, no?
Incense, yeah, like this, yeah. It's not just something like this, it's just to attract certain presence, but also to create a good vibration and to clear the atmosphere. When we were young, we started meditating, we were rebellious, all these things have no meaning, but then later we learn they do help. I don't say that you need, definitely you obligate, no, you can just to help a good atmosphere. All the things do help, you have the direction, good atmosphere, flowers and all these places, water points, all this create atmosphere for good meditation. Then one day when you become enlightened and all the things, so they're okay if they're not here, no problem.
I have one question.
Please, go ahead.
I'd like to know, how can I say, 100 years ago, there was less than 2 billion people in the world, and now it's more than 7 billion, and still increasing. So, from where all these souls are coming from?
From existence. Let me explain to you. I said, remember Vesna, during the day I told you, souls, what are souls? The individual souls. They are quantums, certain amount of energy, or if you wish, just like a spark of fire. There's a big fire that is lit here, and sparks are coming off each time. Now, the Supreme is an eternal fire. So, for each creation, I explain why I say for each creation, for each cosmos, each time the cosmos comes into existence, it comes with a number of soul, great number of soul, And now, these souls, they stay in a state of abeyance, if I may use the word, just like this, in waiting. And then what happens when the process of evolution starts? A group of the souls, they take the unicellular and they go evolve like this. When they reach a certain level, human level, then another group comes like this. So it goes and it goes and it goes, and it's an eternal process. So a group of people come here, a group of people is going at enlightenment. It goes on and goes on, it goes on. It's an eternal process. It's not something. It's not that as in some religions say God created a certain amount of soul, and in one creation, the creation finished, soul finished, and you go to heaven. Those could have the chance to go to heaven eternally. Those who are eternally to hell. No, it's not like this. Souls keep on coming. They are not created. That has to be understood. So it's not that God decided, okay, I'm going to create a soul. No, souls just part of himself, just like the big fire is here and sparkles coming off constantly. So some of the sparks are falling on the dry grass and becoming big fire. Some of the sparks are falling on snow and it's dying. The sparks are coming and coming. It will keep on coming and coming. But for each era, there's a certain amount of soul. And when the amount increases beyond a certain limit, then they sweep off like tsunami. This and that, this and that. It's stampede Stampede. Stampede everywhere. So it goes on like this. And the soul will come again and come again, it goes on and goes on. It's just like a school. Go back one class and if you fail, you come again the same class and go on like this and like this. And until one day, Yeah.
So is Earth always gonna stay as a school ground, playground?
Always. Always. If this earth goes away, then another earth will come. They may not call it earth, remember, it's the same thing, the same condition. Because on a planet like Earth, all the conditions are gathered for our evolution, for the way we live life here, for spiritual evolution. Only here, in the whole universe, people may say, scientists may say, we have discovered planets similar to Earth. Yeah, but in my vision now, let me see, is your vision so big? But yes, this I can tell you, in the whole universe, I'm saying in the whole universe, this is the only place that this drama of evolution takes place. Yeah. Nowhere else. Nowhere else. Nowhere else. Yeah.
So the same logic applies to the other universe.
Other universe. This is something other universe, yeah. But the universe, yeah. We have an infinite number of souls that is keep on coming and coming and coming and coming and coming.
How is it decided that which soul is going to which universe?
That is not a decision. It is already, it's just like this, is already there. If you understand well, then you will see that your question doesn't pose. Think well, you will see. There will not be any decision because potentially all the souls are the same. And they will be given the same opportunities, the same chances. So, and that's all the universe are basically the same. But the only difference is that, for example, in one universe, right here now, in this universe you're thinking like this. Maybe in another universe it is like this. But what I mean to tell you that all the possibilities that exist in your mind is manifest in the different universes. You see? Now I'll tell you that. For example, here you are sitting. Maybe in another universe it is Manit who are there and you are here.
So does this mean that in the other universe it's me there and you also there?
Now, yes and no. Let me explain to you. When I say yes, in the sense of that a mind is there, but it's not really you. It's like you. Try to understand me. For example, your mind, you are at a certain state of evolution. No? But now, in that very mind of yours, there are other levels of evolution. Now, those levels of evolution are manifested in different universal places there. So, all the states of evolution are manifested, and the level of evolution of, it's innumerable. Which means to say that when you look at all the seeds, suppose you have millions of seeds of mango seeds. When you look at them, externally they resemble, but potentially, the different, all the mango trees, they look alike, similar, but some have short branches, some have long branches, but basically they are mango trees. They are all kileshas, but kilesha, maybe you have grown hair. No, it could appear as a joke, but maybe in one universe you have 3/4 hair, half in others. In one universe, now your hair is starting to go. So it's true, it could appear funny, but.
Are you saying that we could be sitting here and we also exist in other universes, no?
Yes.
Parallel.
Wow. So is
Now one thing, it's good that I tell you, even science talk about the multiverses,
Yeah.
parallel universe. This you understand. And the scriptures say that, for example, in the Ramayana it says, in Sri Ram there is Karoram Brahman. One Brahman is one cosmos. Karoram is billions of cosmos. We have billions of cosmos. Billions is nothing for me, it is trillion and trillion. I told you, my guru used to say, we have more cosmos, more universes than the number of grains of sand in the whole planet Earth, even counting even the deserts. Do you imagine this? This is crazy.
That's mad, but I can get my head around it. What you're saying, I could be sitting here and another part of me is
Yes.
somewhere else.
It's not a part of you, it's a whole of you. And as I do.
You're just a particle.
I'm a particle of God, that's what to say.
Yeah.
I'm not another Dhiren sitting somewhere meditating.
Oh yes.
You're a particle.
Oh yes.
Good if you get enlightenment.
Yeah, maybe in one universe you already enlightened.
So I have to wait for all of them to become enlightened.
No. It's individual. No, it's just like, very simple to understand. Suppose you have many mango seeds here. Okay, mango seeds. But mango seeds, potentially they're all mangoes. Potentially they can all become a tree. Well, they all come from the same tree. But the only difference is that there is each mango seed could have some small distortion, small modification, but basically they are mango trees, they are mango seeds. You see what I mean? For example, here you see like one possibility, you could be, for example, with this hand doing like this, or doing like this. You know, for example, today you are saying like this for me. Tomorrow you could be sitting there and you are doing like this. These are the possibilities. So the possibilities are infinite. So as there are many possibilities in all the universe, the fundamental part that you are, you know, is there, and they're manifesting all these possibilities. Now, if you don't understand, just forget about it.
I'm wondering, what are they doing?
just what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Why you come here?
So there's another Dhiran Guru.
Oh, of course, sure.
I have a Guruji as well.
And
This is a mysterious play of the Lord.
Can you access?
Now this is a different question altogether. Yeah, this is a different question.
I understood if you can access your higher self, then you can access your other.
No, not necessarily. No. So suppose tomorrow you become enlightened, you become your higher self. But there's no. It's not necessary that you shall be able to go to the other universe. This is something. What we are talking about is something very, very incredible. Incredible. For even for science, it's only a theory. Only theory. No,
and the evolution of that is the same as here.
Sorry?
Say if you have a Dhiran over there, where
no, of course. Just for example, if it could be in one universe you just born, in another universe you just met me, in another universe you just met me, in another universe you have already become enlightened. Maybe now you go you are not unique. In one sense you are, because it's. But even then, it's just like your genetic code. It is unique. Even there you will be unique, not the same as you are. Yeah, there will be some, even your facial trait, there will be some differences.
Is a careers advisor over there? There's all these questions that will come now.
No, of course. That's why these are the things that will help you to become enlightened. But it's just something that, knowledge is infinite because He is infinite. So these are things, just small sharing, just to give you a hint about the infinite nature and the mysterious nature of God. In one of the scriptures, maybe in the Puran, one of the Bhagavad Puran, Brahma, the first divinity, in case you don't know, his Brahma, the first in the Hindu trinity, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. Brahma, Vishnu, three eternal forces, the trinity in the Hindu concept. Brahma went to Lord Vishnu and introduced, it was just a play, and just introduced to him, I am Brahma. What Brahma? From which universe? Vishnu asked him, he said, no, Brahma is not from me. There's so many Brahmas.
That was my question. So every universe has got
their own six divinity, their own Swami Paramananda, their own, everything, all the same. But as I told you, that has to be understood. They are manifesting different possibilities which are not manifested in all the other universes. Each universe will manifest a certain number of possibilities. Just to give you an idea that God is infinite possibilities. God is infinite possibilities. One friend used to say, God is infinity to the power of infinity. Even infinity to the power of 100 is beyond your thinking. It's infinity to the power of infinity. It's infinite possibilities. That's why our mind is too tiny to that's why most of the masters, in fact all the masters have said, know thyself. You understand yourself, that's enough. It's already big. And if you can get some understanding on God here and there, it's okay. And be satisfied. But one of the divinities of each universe, the divinity of the universe, he is conscious of all these universes at the same time. For example, in one universe you have the 6 divinities, you have Muruga, Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva, and other things. Their consciousness is such that they are conscious of all the universes at the same time, and all the details. Just think of the detail of one universe. You can't think about it, of course, but just get an idea of all the details of the universe with the different dimensions. Not only the gross dimension like this, all the subtle dimensions. And even the subtle dimension just out on the earth. You have one earth and many countries, and countries with district. Even the subtle dimension, you have so many, even the astral layers, so many layers, and even in each layers there are so many like district, so many things. It's incredible. An incarnation like Krishna and Sri Ram, the consciousness of all these universes, the billions and billions and billions, and even beyond that, their mind, at one moment where they are standing, they are conscious of all. But this is, I know it's not very easy for the people to understand. Krishna, for example, or Sri Ram. That's why if you realize how little, my Guru used to say, oh man, realize how little a being you are. And then in the next line he said, oh man, realize how infinite a being you are. Because the little is not something that is separated from the infinite. It's just the infinite reflecting as the tiny.
We do not even exist really, no?
In one sense, we don't exist really, but in another sense, we exist as you are both. That's why I said, realize how tiny a being you are, but at the same time, that tiny being, who is the tiny being? The whole reflecting of the tiny being. Well, that's good in one sense for your meditation to break the ego.
But for the divinities, they are not affected by time.
They are not really affected by time.
So if they are not affected by time, then then that doesn't become that complicated, because for us, because we are affected by time, we are limited by time. So that's why it's difficult for us to. We can, to a certain extent, we can see the breakdown of the subtle layers. Because but if they are not limited by time, so they are open, they can that's how they can perceive all the.
There is one thing you have to understand. There are 2 main perspectives. I say 2 main. The highest is the perspective that we call Brahma perspective, I explained, and the lowest perspective is our perspective. These are the 2 mains, I'm saying. They're not the only ones. The Brahma perspective is when you attain enlightenment. How the absolute say things. Now, even after enlightenment, it's not really the perspective of the absolute, but it's no longer human perspective. And then the perspective of the people, daily people, everybody. So from their perspective, it's totally different. From here you can discuss and say this and that, but from their perspective, they see only themselves. Now, let me put it like this. If God sees, however, and He sees indeed, he or she, He sees nothing but Himself. So it's difficult to understand His point of view, His vantage point. So that's why, unless you become enlightened, you won't be able to understand. You can have some understanding as you become more aware, of course. You have to become more aware. You can have some understanding, but to get His perspective. That's why masters, that may appear a bit political and even, how can I say it? It's Machiavellic, but this is how it is in the spiritual path. Masters are to be followed, not to be questioned. You simply have to be a master because he sees things that you can't see, and he sees better than you. So he's your best guide, he's your best director, he's your best friend. That's how, when you have got this understanding, really got the understanding, yes, that's when you surrender. Because you trust him, because you know he sees indeed. So that's why you say, he's saying, I'm not saying, so okay, I just put myself into his hand. That's why it's good to obey to the master, because he knows what he's telling you. He knows what is good for you. But otherwise, between the master and the disciple, to quote Osho, he said, it's like a fight, a quarrel. Because the disciple, the master is not fighting. The master is hitting on your ego, but you will react. It's a fight that goes on. But the master, because he sees your potentiality, he sees that there's a possibility that you can make enlightened. So he will try to do his best to make you enlightened. But then you will resist him, because the ego will resist. And the more you resist, the more he will fight. And if he wins, you loses. If you loses, you become enlightened. But if the master loses and you win, then it's problem. Then you become devilish. You see. I want you to understand this. It's very difficult. It's very subtle. But that's why it's just like in love. The woman has to lose his heart to the man. Because if the woman gains, he becomes masculine. Then the man loses, he becomes feminine. The man has to gain. But that has to be understood. I don't want that you have to become an slave to the man. No, that's not like this. So you see, between master and disciple, if you are a little aware, you will see many times you have been fighting with your master. Maybe most of the time, I should say. And the master knows this. Don't think that your master don't know. One thing I'd like to tell you. Your master knows all your attitude, all your moods, every time why you're making such a move, why you're not, why you do this, why you're laughing this way, when your laughing was a fake, when your smile was fake. Be very careful about this. Don't make any illusion about this. It's not because the master doesn't tell you that he doesn't know. The master knows you. I'm not saying that he's omniscient or anything, but I'm telling you, your master knows you. This is for sure. And that's why it is wise to trust the master. The master is something like, the master is not a philosopher, he's not a meditation master, he's not your friend in the sense that you can discuss with him. There can be no discussion between a master and disciple. Know that very well. But I'm telling you a truth. I'm not telling you that you have to be, because some masters are dictators, just like George Gurdjieff. Some masters are very serious dictators. George Gurdjieff, either you do this or you don't go. Either you stay or you go. You do all that anymore. Some masters are very lenient. If you are a master, I'm in the middle, right in the middle. I'm neither too lenient, I'm neither too severe. I'm sure you've experienced it. But the master knows. That's why it is why if you obey the master, if you follow him, then your adventure becomes beautiful and easy. Otherwise, it becomes a fight between you master, and it's a bit bitter. Even for the master, because he has to come down to a low level, he has to tell you certain truth, and when he knows you're going to fight back and things like this, so it's very ugly and difficult for him. Jokingly, in one of the satsang, I don't know, you didn't hear, jokingly, I said, I give you a curse, that one day you become a master and you experience the same difficulty that I was. So this is a really great blessing, So just jokingly say, I give you one day you become a master and you have experienced the same difficulty.
Big curse as well.
It's big curse as well, yes, big curse. But it was a joke. No, because it's very difficult to understand the problems of a master. It's very difficult. That's why Osho said there are two infinite things in this world: the foolishness of a disciple and the infinite compassion of a master. Such a beautiful statement. You are given great knowledge, but you will also be put to great tests. And existence will expect great from you.
It feels like an adventure. It feels like an adventure, Guruji.
An adventure, it is an adventure, it is the greatest adventure that can be undertaken by the human mind. That's why, if you're aware, conscious and aware, you accept it as it is. You accept the fall, the rise, everything. It is an adventure, the greatest one. That's why I was telling you, you're sitting here, you are eating. Now you are not eating. When we are eating, or anything, you're seated here. You're in the presence of somebody who is enlightened, who is cosmic conscious. It is a whole process, even for your own enlightenment, because all the things that we are doing together, we are eating. Each time I'm throwing bits and pieces of wisdom, all this will contribute to one day make you become a master, maybe a great master, who knows? And who knows, many people will follow you, and who knows, many people will transform. So that's why I'm saying this moment, each moment being in the presence of a master, and even in your daily life when you're meditating, when you are doing your austerity, your tapasya to become more aware, to become transformed, is such a sacred, such intense, especially when we are here together, we're speaking, the vibration here, you're all listening, is something so intense. But if you're unconscious, then it was just a moment when you miss something that is great. If you're sleeping, even you are looking at me, but inside you are sleeping, and you miss. That's why in front of my, if you're very much awake and alert, relax though. I remember, just imagine, I remember also would fit here, when Jesus was going to be on the cross, He was going on the cross, and that day I think he has fasted. He went in the garden of Gethsemane, the garden where he was arrested. He told his disciple, wait here, I'm going to pray. And he said, you keep awake and watch so that you do not fall into temptation. So that the devil does not come. He spoke in a different language, traditional language, devil and all things. So he went there and he was praying. And the Bible is how it is described. When he was praying, his whole body became red like blood. Now, do you imagine the vibration, the intensity of his prayer and the environment, the vibration that was, at that moment? This is something very intense. Somebody was going to sacrifice his life for his disciples. A master was going to sacrifice his life for his disciple on the cross. When he came, the disciple was sleeping. He said, he was sad. He said, you're sleeping. That was very intense, So that's why I want you to develop, I told you during the day, I want you to develop this mind that can appreciate the awe and wonder of every moment of your life. Even if not everywhere in the life, or even why not of the whole universe? Because your life, maybe I'm always maybe reprimanding you, telling you things like that, but a master appreciates the sacredness of your life. It's not because if you have certain weaknesses, even if you're say a betrayer, he's appreciating it, but he feels sad that it could be otherwise. You could lessen your suffering, and it could be otherwise, because he appreciates it, because it's not the first time. You have taken many incarnations, and maybe you have done your best. You have done a lot of austerities, you have meditated, you have loved, and maybe even served the master. But here now you're falling because of your stupid beliefs or whatever it is. But even a master, he appreciates. Don't think that a master takes you to be a mere worm. Because the master knows that the very soul that he is, that is enlightened, that enlightened state, you also, your potential is the same thing. But it's only that you're not yet aware. There still exists some impression of your ego that is there, that is creating all the trouble. So it's good that you understand, even in the eyes of the masters, you're the best among people. Even if you tell me somebody there who has no weaknesses at all and is very good doing this or that, I would still prefer and choose people who are on their path, even though they have few weaknesses. It's completely different. Don't think that people meditate, they don't get married, if they're vegetarian and they're thinking bhajang or whatever. No, it's not like this. People who are meditating, who are on their spiritual path, though they are falling and rising, they're the best among men. That has to be understood. Now this fellow has been with me for many incarnations, and I think what is deep inside, he doesn't even know what is happening to him. That's why you see, despite everything happening, he's always, you don't remember anything. We do remember.
Who has been with you the longest? For all the incarnations.
Yeah. This is the secret. There's then some secrets that masters don't reveal. And that's not very important for now, one day. But there are many who have been here from many, even maybe millions of years, who knows. And all the things that have happened in Mauritius and here, it has a connection with many thousand years back. I told you I've been once, maybe you don't remember. It was
even before the time of Christ?
Oh yes, much before.
Before that as
yeah,
well,
much before, yeah. Much before.
From the days of Krishna, no?
Even before.
Before that? That's the problem, isn't it?
No, you know what happened is that we don't live together here. I'm in Mauritius. There's a lot of things that happen in daily life. People, if you should be aware when you watch. Suppose you decide you are in the secret service and you're given to watch somebody, from a morning, evening for many years, then you get to understand a lot of things. But just like my consciousness is just like this, so I'm witnessing a lot of things from eternity. So I understand a lot of things, and people have been with me for many incarnations, and since so they understand a lot of things. They understand, they can put the puzzle together, this and that, you here and this. But that's very subtle level. But there's certain things you cannot tell people. They have to realize, If I tell people, they can believe, they can don't believe. So it makes no sense. So you realize something that, this nobody can take it from me. That's why, remember, during the day you told me about there's a fear that you fall and you think so. But if you choose not to do it, if you know your weakness, that there's a possibility that you can fall, you would also know what are the things that can make you fall. So then you have to start working upon them. Remember? Well, 5 more minutes and we go. Because we ate a bit late, the second part.
Second part?
Yeah.
Instead of dessert.
Yeah. Wow, this is a good indication. It's time to go sleeping.
Guruji, I'm still stuck there. I don't know what.
No, but at times it's not very difficult. It's also very difficult. I have been giving you, everybody, all the things, that is necessary. I've been saying a lot of things. Now you simply have to just work on it. I was saying the very first thing for people who are on the path is, the very first thing is the first and the priority to meditate, to become spiritual. It should be something from deep inside. You had two beautiful experiences, revelation I should say. First, the one where you saw Guruji and the child. This is you definitely, his message to you. You're having a child. The second thing is, you answered both questions, but it was not from deep. That's why your high self wasn't satisfied. You said, no, it has to be something. Say it from deep inside. So when you say to somebody, I love you, a woman will know when you say that, how much sincere you are, and how much you're not sincere. So it has to be something deep first. Then, as I told you, purity of heart, regular practice, and just be yourself. make it a priority of priority. If it is not a priority, you won't give enough time to meditate. Now, just remember, just imagine from your study to now, so many things have told you. Do you know how much time and energy it is needed to meditate on all these? So now you know what to do. If you want to make a life here, it's your choice. If you want to make meditation a priority, then definitely the Lord will make a way for you. Of course, there will be a lot of tests. Otherwise, you will always find pretexts to do things. And today you buy a house, tomorrow you buy a car, tomorrow you buy this, children, and this, and that. You go on and go on, and one day you become old. You know. And I was telling Guru Maharaj, we always speak about things. You know, the Maya, if I say it in a traditional way, the devil has so many subtle ways to pull you away from the path of righteousness. Now, for example, tomorrow you become a father. Looking after your child will be a sacred duty. But do you imagine when you have a child, even when you get married, you have to share a great amount of mental, emotional, and physical energy. And tomorrow you have a second child. Again, another half. Tomorrow something else. Again and again. You know, see what happens. So many ways to pull you away. So you should be very aware and careful. Because there's 10 things that you have to decide. There's 10 things that cannot be. For example, I cannot tell not to get married. I can give a hint. I say, if you get married, this will happen. I cannot tell him I cannot tell you not to become a father. But definitely, when you become, something will happen. Emotionally, physically, so many. Not only that, so many things will have. So many engagements, so many responsibilities. You know. Suppose tomorrow you do a second work. I can't tell you not to work because so many things happened in the past. People have laid so many responsibilities because of him. We didn't do that. We didn't do this. So there are things you have to decide. I cannot live the life of a person because in my satsang I will give you so many indications and you have to choose. Okay, friends. Na 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 na.